All right. I want to welcome you today. We have a special guest today. A big welcome to one of our most recent graduates of our Career Coach Certification Program. Welcome, Melanie. So excited to have you here today.
Thanks for having me, Anna. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, a huge congratulations on your certification. And I am
Thank
excited
you.
to walk through your journey and have you share with us more about your journey to become a career coach. So tell us more about, who you are, where you live. Everyone wants to know, and kind of how you
Wow.
describe yourself at the beginning of this journey to become a career coach.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Melanie Smith, and I hail from the beautiful Turks and Caicos Islands. And when I think about, the journey to becoming a career coach, I spent over 12 years in human resource management. So my journey really literally started with coaching, even when I didn't even have the title, right? And after 12 years, I decided that I just needed to do more. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. So, Anna, could you believe it? I decided that I would step out as an entrepreneur. And I used the same experience and skills that I had gained over the years in corporate HR. And I opened a recruiting and staffing organization called Talent Recruitment Group. So the role was really supporting organizations to fill roles or individuals who are looking for a job. And so I'm 7 years in that business now. And then I found where persons were not just coming to look for jobs, they were coming to look for career advice, interview technique skills, resume writing. And so I started doing all of that. And then I thought, oh, okay, this is nice. And then during the pandemic, I became John Maxwell certified. I traveled to get the in-person experience, even though we were going through the COVID pandemic and traveling with all the masks and everything. I decided that I would travel just to meet him in person and see what it's like. So I took his principles and launch a second business, which was my recruiting company, sorry, my coaching company. And I named it MS for Melanie Smith Coaching and Consulting. So I'm operating two of them simultaneously, but as we practice on the calendar, I am doing both. So there are some days I'm in the recruiting lane and some days I'm in the coaching lane. So I also wrote a book in the middle of that so persons can be successful in their first 90 days. And then I did an ebook on how to write a winning resume that opened doors. And it just took off from there, and it's just been quite exciting.
Yeah.
Now, I decided that I wanted to be certified, which I had shared with you. I saw you online for a very long time. I wanted to start the program, but I also had enrolled in the University of the West Indies to complete my undergrad because I had put it on pause from having my children and sending them over to London to go to school. And I thought, oh, okay, I need to put something on pause. So I put it on pause. And last year, I was like, I need to complete this. And it wasn't that so much was missing, but I felt like if I was certified, that I will be able to be more strategic in my business or the service that I offer. So since then, it's been 2 months. I think yesterday, the 19th. It's been two
Mhm.
months,
Yeah.
2 months since the graduation. And so I'm still in the role of streamlining, trying to figure out what services I'm going to offer under the coaching company because in the recruiting, I do a lot of training and development and fully booked. And I'm trying to not have that intertwined with the coaching company. And so it's just been an amazing journey. Yes.
Awesome. And when you were starting to coach, what were some of those like problems and challenges like as a new coach that you face? Because I know a lot of people are probably facing similar challenges right now.
Yeah, I think some of the problems that I faced was really trying to find my audience, and my message, trying to stream like that. Because when I first started, I think I was serving everyone. And so everybody, yeah, everybody was coming, and then I had to think about what that looked like. And after I thought about myself, I changed career in my late 40s. Like I was almost turning 50 at the time, like really late. And I thought, oh, this may be nice, right? And so, like when you're looking for your ideal client, like the avatar, I'm my avatar because I was like, I need to be able to serve a particular group. And so I chose mid-career, not women per se, but mid-career professionals because I serve both. And I thought this would work for me because I was with the youth, I was just doing everybody. And I decided that it would be mid-career since I changed career during that time. And my message was mainly to tell people who are afraid of starting over. And I was afraid as well, but when I realized that I wasn't really starting over, I took my experience with me.
Mhm.
All right. And so transitioning into that felt a little easier, but it took me a while to get my message, and who I was serving. So now it's so much better.
And
Yes.
it's more like natural and authentic, right? Because you
Yes.
can say, I know where you are. I used to be you. I know what you're
Yes.
thinking. I know what you're feeling. So that's great. I know a lot of times your avatar is just who you were. That's how it was when
You
I
are.
started my coaching company too. It was like who I
Yes.
was a few
Yes.
years ago, and I'm a few steps ahead, and I can share with you, what I've learned.
Yes. Yes. It's quite an exciting journey. And I thought, wow, at first I was saying, okay, am I able to manage both of them? Because I didn't really want to leave my HR experience behind. And so when I opened my recruiting company, I was recruiting and HR. So that consultancy part of it is deeply rooted in what I do. And so when I thought of it, I say, okay, entrepreneur, HR and recruiting, coaching. But when I look at it, I'm like, it's all together in a nutshell.
Right.
And so there are different days, and you've trained us well also about multiple streams of income, different
Yes.
things like that. So I find myself when I'm working on my calendar, that's something that I'm still working on. I would tell my audience whether I'm in the coaching lane today or if I'm in the recruiting lane today, they will know so that they can, okay, she's busy. And so here's the calendar and the availability to book her. And so it's just been amazing. I just love
Awesome.
it.
And how did you find out about Classy Career Go? Because I know you've been on this journey for a while with us here.
Yes, yes, quite a while. I have been in corporate rescue plan, but the way I found you, and I learned this even when we did the market research, those late nights when you're up Googling, looking for the answers to the pain that you have, because, I wouldn't say that I didn't enjoy my job. I was in love with my job. I love what I do because I love people. But I think maybe the management style of my job was the reason why I wanted to really quit, or, the old adage would normally say people don't leave job, they leave bosses. And so I've been toiling with that, saying, did I leave my boss or did I just left my job? And so I've been online and just searching for the answers, and Classic Career Girl came up. And it's probably over 5 years ago. And so I've been, dipping my eyes on your site, looking for little
Mhm.
information. If something caught my eyes, I will go in for a little bit, try it, because I think I struggle with I can do this rather than you need help to do this.
Mhm.
So I struggled with that for a bit, and then, decided no, get the help that you need so that you can get better at what you're doing and not have to do it for 5 to 10 years. And I just decided that I will just gonna dive in.
I love that. So tell us first about Corporate Rescue Plan. What was that like when you just joined, when you started on the success path?
Yeah, so when I started going through the course, and I thought I never really figured out, like really look into the fact that they had phases.
Hmm.
That's when I fell in love with 90 Day. I'm so in love with the 90 Day. all you have to say is 90 day and
90
I'm there,
days.
right? Because
Yes,
I think I was focusing on trying to get everything done all at once, and not having to feel guilty if I didn't complete a project, knowing that it can just go into another quarter. And so I like the bite size of the way you had it set up, and then if I didn't fully complete a phase, I can go back,
yes,
review them, and oftentimes when you review them, even if you would complete it, when you review it, you'd find areas that you missed, right?
exactly.
And so that you can operate your business in a way, or even your life, personally, because oftentimes we leave ourselves out of the calendar,
Mhm.
and so it's been a blessing for me to be able to go through a phase, feel equipped, and then if I miss something, I can go back to the training and get the aha on, okay, this is what I was missing. So it's
I
been
love
a
that.
journey. And if I'm not mistaken, I probably did corporate rescue plan 3 times already.
Hey, we have many members that do that too,
Yes.
because the path is that circle, right? And I do it myself too.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm like, especially after the pandemic we went through, right? Like I got to restart. I need a
Yes.
fresh start and you kind of, or pivot,
Yes.
right? It's with
Yes.
changes in
Yeah.
social media. So tell me about then the next level you went is the career coach certification program. So tell me what that process was like and kind of what
Right.
you thought when what was going through your head.
And what was going through my head when I signed up, and I thought to myself, wow, it's going to be another 90 day, right?
Yeah.
But yes, it's going to be another 90 day. And I even though oftentimes people look at September as a slow period, I think it was between June and July, where I signed up and I thought, okay, but the corporate rescue plan helped me so much with how I would figure that out, because I needed certification, because I felt like that was the missing piece. So for me to be able to, every time I saw those emails coming, I was telling myself, you have to do this for you, right? This is important. Oftentimes, thinking about my undergrad, I was just pausing everything when it came to Melanie and just making sure everybody else was okay. But there were no exceptions for this time, because, I wanted the business to grow. I was really looking for structure. And then the structure helped me to get more clarity on who I was serving, what my message really was. And you've been with me on that. I've tweaked that over and under, because I felt like I was leaving out some people, right? But that made it a little better. But I was able to scale, and now I have a framework that I can work with.
I love
Yeah.
that. And what would you say would be like the first step you made this summer after you joined and started doing this career coaching? What was like that first step that you remember was kind of like a big moment for you?
Yeah. I think the big moment for me was having to coach. We had to do we had 10 coaching sessions where we had to really talk to people rather than just saying
Really?
it, right? We had to talk to people, and just putting it out there that I had these coaching sessions available. If you need support, come and coach. And when I saw that I had 5 spots, it filled up so quickly, and I thought to myself, "Oh my God!" It's like all the lights went on. I found my audience. I found my audience. But the real McCoy of that was really sitting with those people online and getting to hear their challenges, right? And um, I, I had to submit them to you too
Yeah,
as
you
well,
did.
right?
I got to listen to two, and they were so fun to listen to yours. I really enjoyed
Yes,
that.
I had to submit them. And so to hear feedback from persons on how, even though they were short 30 minutes, on how I was able to help them, and, to be able to now see my calendar filling up with persons who are actually paid clients,
Yeah.
that made the difference for me. And so it's been an exciting journey too, because sometimes we feel like, this is not possible. How am I able to convert? what I've been taught in coaching into my real life story. And I've been able to see that happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it really, I feel like it built your confidence, your momentum.
Yes.
It's always
Yes.
such a big change when our coaches kind of go through that. And I saw that with you too. It
Yeah.
was like, okay, momentum is here. And you just kind of flew to graduation on the high of that, I think.
Yes. And I think I still have that momentum because I did a
Yeah,
training session yesterday and I that's the word that I use. You have to have momentum to keep it going. And so yes, it's still there.
definitely. So what do you think
Yes.
would have happened if you hadn't joined certification this summer? Where do you think you'd be?
Yeah, if I hadn't joined certification, I think that I would still, you know, literally not have, I wouldn't have had structure. That one was for sure. I still would have been serving everyone because I wanted to make money in the business. I had to separate my recruiting company from my coaching company to see if it was operating
Hmm.
because when we talk about my social media handles and all those different things, I wanted to see, was I making money here or was I making money here? What was working? And if I needed to rethink the decision of coaching versus recruiting. And so that gave me a framework to work with. And then all of a sudden, because first I was saying this is not working, but I realize now it is. It's just that I wasn't sure which lane I was in some days.
Yeah.
But because of me now knowing what I serve under the services that I offer under my coaching company, and it has made it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the specializations you have now too, like share some of the coaching
Yeah.
specializations you
Oh,
have to now offer your
and
clients.
and first when I came in, I think I was just focused on job search, right?
Yeah.
But now I do productivity coaching, and so I'm so excited about that part
Yeah.
because every year for the last 3 years, I've also been hosting a vision board brunch, and that brunch was helping. It's more like it was me giving persons the framework that I used, even though it wasn't at the beginning of when I became an entrepreneur, but it was in the middle. And 3 years ago, I started sharing that. And then I thought, Coach, isn't that cool? Right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about what's going to come this Black Friday as I'm launching my first 90 minute. That 90 is so exciting. My live workshop where I get to take it online to be able
That's
to serve more people. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and a lot of our clients do love the 90-day planning process, and now you can do that with your clients, and you've
Yes.
done it yourself, and now you can
Yes.
take that to your clients who need that kind of
Yes.
structure that you were missing as well too. So
Yeah.
what else are
Yeah.
some wins? I know you've had some busy couple months since graduation. Tell me all the wins that you've had.
Yeah, so I've been since graduation, I now have a VIP day, which I hosted last Saturday, and it's a series that's called Live to Lead from the John Maxwell program, as a certified coach, and it's exclusive to Maxwell leadership coaches, and so I am licensed to host that in my community. And I made that my VIP day, which is so exciting. And I had it for a second time, another sold out event. And it's more of a personal and professional development type conference for persons. So I've had professionals, I've had students, apprentices, and emerging leaders attend that event. And so, I like it so much because it also helps to elevate my business where it positions me as the go-to person for
Yeah.
coaching or even workforce training. Yes.
Definitely. What would you tell? Because I do talk to a lot of people who already have certifications, just like you already had certifications. What would you tell, like, what was different about Classy Career Girl certification? Like, what did you learn that was different that is really equipping you now?
Um, I think what is different for me, it helps me to turn everything that I've been doing, I would say, from 2021, into um, to be more intentional.
Mm.
And I like that so much because oftentimes we said, oh, I'm not doing good at this. I'm going to quit. I'm going to close. It's not working. And so the idea of you holding our hands, because that's how it felt, you were holding our hands. You would write in to say, if you need support with XYZ, you can email me. And so
Mhm.
the availability there, the accountability was there. I love that. Because oftentimes you look at that 90 days and you would say, I can't complete that in 90 days. It's impossible. And then you end up with another 90 day, and then the second quarter is gone. There's another 90, and the third
Yeah,
quarter is gone. And so the accountability partner of being there, and you think there's no, and I think we have this imposter system syndrome where we feel like it has to be perfect. Now I've gotten rid of that. It doesn't have to be perfect,
yeah,
right? You just have to start. And
exactly.
since then, I'm like, look at me. A few weeks later, I have my family on the call.
Yeah.
Anna's saying it's graduation day, and something that I thought it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And now, I'm finished. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
And
finished,
your
and
the little kids got
yeah.
to watch you
They got to
graduate.
watch. Yes, yes, they got to
Yeah,
watch. And, I want to say to those who are listening, you're never too old. We have a lot of issues with starting over, but when I really look at it, we're not really starting over. You get to take all that experience with you and, turn it into purpose, really. Yeah.
exactly.
So
And what
that's
would
that's
you
what I'd say.
say? You also mentioned that one worry was because you are very busy that you don't have time to complete the certification.
Yes.
What would you tell someone
Yes.
who's worried about that, who wants to do it but is worried about time?
And that's how I felt. Like I kept putting things off because I didn't have the time, and but when I look back at it, make the time for
Yeah.
yourself because when you look at, and I felt like that this morning because I'm saying, look at me, right? After 2 months, I'm now just getting a moment to be interviewed with you on the experience that I would have had. I mean, thankfully it's fresh and I can remember. But you know, if we continue to prolong those things, make the time for yourself because it's very important. There are so much people out there that need what you have, and
Exactly.
I'm finding that out now more than ever today. Once you put those goals and aspirations that you have at the
Yeah.
front, it all falls in line after.
And tell people after you graduate, we don't kick you out either. You still get support
No,
too when you,
oh, listen,
so
and it's like, and that's what I love about it. The way I call Classic Career Girl system, I don't call it the master class or anything like that. I call it the portal,
yeah,
right? That you can go into the portal on any given night. If you have a client and you're looking for information on whatever topic, I feel like that works for me. I'd go in and I'll review the system to match what my client is asking for. And I go back with an answer the next day. And I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
so, and then you get to go over all the information, you get all the bonus. I heard my name actually night before last. I was like, oh, and I forgot to say that. I want something.
yeah, yeah, you did. You
Yes.
want a planner.
I
You're
missed that.
still doing,
Yes.
yeah, you're still completing the work and still doing the
Yes.
challenges, and it doesn't end
Yes.
just with graduation.
Yeah,
And
it
I want to
doesn't
say
end.
too,
And I
because
love,
yeah,
yes.
because you're helping
I
me too. Like I can't necessarily go where you live. I would love to and help support the people there, but it's kind of like that
yeah.
partnership too of like we can help more people together too, which is an
Yeah, it
awesome
is. And
thing.
and even when, like when I get an opportunity to stop in to the portals to see what's happening, and I saw the Black Friday, and I was like, what? I'm gonna get in on this. And then now I'm seeing the 90-day challenge, and you know what my challenges are, right? Where I'm trying to work on email marketing and
Hmm.
get my first Black Friday out, decide on, how I'm going to transition my vision board into an online workshop that will
Yeah.
later on become probably evergreen. And so it's just so much stuff. And I'm like, how does Anna do all this? But I'm excited because this is going to be my first time, and I'll share that. This is going to be my very first time really having a workable uh, 90-day planner, a workable one where for this closeout of the quarter, the only thing I have on my list is email marketing,
Nice.
right?
Yep.
And I will do the 90, I'll do the 90-minute live and email marketing. That's how I'm closing out quarter four,
I love it. I love it.
right?
So
Yes. And then
where,
for
yeah,
quarter one, the challenge that you have now is my quarter one that I'm planning.
awesome.
Yeah.
So where can people find out more about you online? I know you're on Instagram as well. How can people
Yes.
find you?
I'm on Instagram. I think I love Instagram the most. My handle is Melanie Smith. I use my name for a lot of things. My coaching company, sorry, my recruiting company is Talent Recruitment Group, which is TRG, but I use my name a lot, Melanie Smith and Co. That and Co is my company's, right?
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make
Yeah,
sure we
so
link that below.
Yes, Melanie Smith and Co. And I think I use that, and I'm going to go deeper into Instagram in the new year.
Exciting,
Yeah, I really
exciting.
yes, I'm going to go deeper into Instagram. I think that I'm going to create a group like you did, away from Facebook and all those different things. So, um, God forbid, the future, anything is removed, I have those people that I can communicate with. So I'm looking at that as well, where I
Definitely.
will either use Circle or Slack or something I want to create a community. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I love the community. Do you have any final words of wisdom for anyone who's considering coaching or starting a business? What would you tell them?
Yes. For anyone who is considering coaching, just start. Um, you know, Oftentimes, even me, I never realized that I was coaching. And I feel like all of us coach someone every day of our lives. People are calling for advice, and you can turn that, especially if it's happening all the time. And in our Maxwell Leadership coaching, we talk about moving from free to fee, and it's possible for you. Never doubt yourself or feel like, especially the starting over part, because I struggle with that a
Yeah,
lot. But you have gained all of those experience over the years, and you can turn it into purpose and serve the people who are out there waiting for what you have to give.
definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Melanie, for being here
Thank
with
you,
me today.
Anna.
I'm excited to watch your
Yes,
next 90
can't
days.
wait.
Okay. Thank
Yes, I can't
you.
wait.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
so
And if
much.
you're interested in our certification program, you can always go to classycareergirl.com/certification. And then also you can find Melanie's profile along with our other coaches on our directory page. So at classycareergirl.com/directory. In case you missed her Instagram or anything, you can find Melanie Smith on the directory page and you can actually book on her calendar right through the directory. So make sure you check that out. And we will see you guys later. Thanks,
All
Melanie.
right. Thank you, Anna. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.
Bye-bye. Okay.